wonder what is the difference between restorative justice versus therapeutic modality, and also the difference between restorative justice and versus retributive justice? Hi, I am Tom Jan Arhel, and in this video, I will explain to you what is the difference between restorative justice, therapeutic modality, and retributive justice. So, what are you waiting for? Let's go! So first, let's talk about the difference between restorative justice and therapeutic modality. Now, what is restorative justice? Restorative justice is a process through which remorseful offender accept responsibility of their misconduct, particularly to the victims and to the community. It creates obligation to make things right through proactive involvements of victims, ownership of the offender of the crime, and the community in search for solution which promote repair to reconciliation and assurance. Thus, the restorative justice is a process actively participated by the victim, the offender, and any individual or the community member affected by the crime, and to resolve the conflict resulting from the criminal offense. What is an example of restorative justice? The example of restorative justice process include mediation, conferencing, support circle, and indigenous practice. The restorative outcome is the agreement obtained as a product of restorative justice process. The example of restorative justice outcomes include restitution, community work service, and any other program or response designed to accomplish reparation of victims and reintegration of victims and the offender. So let's go to therapeutic modality. What is therapeutic modality? Therapeutic modality is a self-help social learning treatment model used for clients with problems of drug abuse and other behavioral problems such as alcoholism, stealing, and other antisocial tendencies. What are some examples of therapeutic modalities? Modalities use evidence-based treatment have yield positive outcomes. Such treatment approach include psychodynamic therapy, behavioral therapy, cognitive and cognitive behavioral therapy, humanistic therapy, group therapy, and elective therapy. What is the purpose of restorative justice and therapeutic modality? The purpose and its goal is to support the healing process of the victim and allow the offender to learn an impact of his or her offense on the victim's physical, emotional, and financial existence, and take direct responsibility of his or her behavior by mutually developing a restorative justice plan that address the harm caused by the offender. Now, let's talk about restorative justice versus retributive justice. Retributive justice is a theory of punishment that when an offender breaks the law, justice requires that they suffer in return, and that response to a crime is proportionally to the offense. The criminal justice system is retributive and focuses on establishing the guilt and punishing the person who broke the law. Retributive justice is based on three questions. First, what law was broken? Second, who broke the law? And third, what is the punishment? On the other hand, restorative justice is a dialogue-driven approach that restores victims, offender, and the community members who have been harmed by the crime. Ideally, each stakeholder should be actively involved in a justice process. Restorative justice is based on a different set of questions, just like, what is the harm? How do we repair the harm? and who is the responsible for repairing the harm. In restorative justice, crime is a violation of people and relationship. But in retributive justice, crime is a violation of the law and state. In restorative justice, violations create obligations. But in retributive justice, violations create guilt and require someone to blame. Restorative justice, the justice requires the victims, offenders, and community members in an effort to make things right. While in retributive justice, the justice requires the state to determine the guilt and impose the punishment. In restorative justice, the central focus is to meet the needs of person harmed, primarily the person who caused the harm. While in retributive justice, it centrally focuses on the offenders get what they deserve. So, that's it. I hope you learned something in this video, and keep safe and see you in the next video.